Hey guys, welcome to Night Owls. I know it's been forever. When's the last time we did this, Sasha?
Like a month or something.
You know we've been. Thank you guys. Night Owls is a show that Sasha and I do. It's just for fun. That's all shows should be for fun, but my Ramsey Paul show I do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Wednesday I do Happy Homelands. Then we have the round tables. If you're not part of my round table, join us. Only $5 a month. We do book reviews and everything. But Night Owls is just kind of our kickback. We talk about culture. We could go 5 minutes. We could go 2 hours. Some Sundays we do it. Some we don't. It depends on our mood. And we've had a lot of stuff going on. But it's great to have you guys here. A lot of people like the show. We like the show too. And we're streaming on YouTube, Rumble, and X. And Sasha, let me just make sure that the Rumble thing is going okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Sometimes I boomer tech and I get it set up wrong, but it's set up right. And we'll probably in the last part of the show, we're going to go just to X and Rumble because we want to go over some scary horror clips, the top 10 scary horror clips of all time. And I don't think YouTube allows clips very easily. It should. It's fair use. But it doesn't. They're jerks about everything. So
they are. Well, you're supposed to be allowed to use clips.
You are. It's called
but
fair
use. They'll still snag
get
you, though. Yeah.
That's like if you have a little bit of a song in the background. It's no big deal. That's fair use, but they still go after you. So just to be safe, we're going to go over to Rumble once we get going in the show. We've been busy. We're getting into spring. Sasha, what do you think about daylight savings time? Have you adjusted?
No, I don't like it. It messed me up.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
All day because
the spring you always lose an hour, so it's just like, oh, what the hell. I just wish we stayed on standard time the whole time. I do. I'm not a big fan of it. I know now when I wake up it's going to be dark, but it stays lighter later. I get it, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this whole time, but it's already just like last year because I keep weather data. Sasha will tell you I'm geeky this way. I have a spreadsheet, Google Sheets, and I keep the high and low temperatures. And it was almost exactly on March 8th or 9th, our trees start to bud. We have the dogwood, which are the white trees, the white buds. And what are those pink ones? Those are so pretty, Sasha, we see around here.
The dogwoods?
Dogwoods are white. What are the pink ones?
I don't know.
People in the chat know. They're very beautiful trees.
I don't know a lot about flowers.
Yeah, I thought you told me, but maybe you didn't. So
no, I told you about the dogwoods.
Dogwood, yeah.
Are they cherry blossoms or something?
Yeah, cherry blossoms. Maybe that's it. They're really beautiful. So it's we're getting spring is coming up pretty soon, and I guess you guys. I love the AI being AI. I made the thumbnail of Night Owls, but 2 owls in a wedding ceremony. And why did I do that, Sasha?
Because we're getting married next week.
Next week? Yeah, I think so.
I guess it's next week. Or maybe the week after.
No, it will be next week because this week is Sunday through.
I'm confused, though, because we're going to be gone for like more than a week.
Yeah, but this week we're just going to be going to my dad's memorial. So, guys, what we're going to be doing is, I don't know. I'm going to bring my computer. We're doing we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone, just as kind of a background. My dad, I think passed away a couple months ago. What was that, January, Sasha?
Yeah, it was like the end of January. It was like right before Valentine's Day, I think.
And you're saying everyone's like, oh, why such a delay? Well, he was cremated, so they're just having a memorial service, and they're going to have that next. Is it Thursday? Thursday, right?
Thursday, because we leave on Wednesday.
Yeah, so Thursday's a memorial service in Colorado, and we're going to stay there a couple days. My stepmother still lives there. My brother will be in town, and we're going to see him. I texted him, and we'll get together for that. And I texted him, Sasha. He's interested in going maybe to that art thing that I suggested.
Cool. Yeah, we should.
Oh, Meow Wolf. It's a really cool exhibit. They have one in Las Vegas. It's hard to describe. when Sasha described that originally to me, I'm like, I don't really like, is it modern art or art? I don't like that, but it's not. It's like it tells a story. It's really kind of cool. So,
It is
I,
cool.
at least the one in Vegas is. So we'll try the one in Denver. So we're probably going to do that. I may do that with my brother.
Yeah, I
And
definitely want to do it.
I haven't seen my brother in a long time. Sasha's never met Steve and his family, and my kids will be there. So it's well, you met my daughter, but not my son. So it's in a weird way, and this happened with Sasha. I don't want to get too personal, but when you go to a funeral, sometimes you connect up with people you haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, I saw my brother, and I hadn't seen him in a long time when my dad died.
Yeah.
And
So
we text each other and stuff now, and
while the funeral's sad, it's a good way to get the family together because everyone's always scattered, and
they
it's good to
are.
get people together. So that's
It's
good.
just
So
too bad it always has to be under those circumstances. Like, it'd be
it,
nice if people tried to get together when they're alive instead of wait till someone dies.
wouldn't that be good? I think what should happen, I think they should start a tradition when someone reaches a certain age, let's say 80 years old. I don't know what the age is, but when they're old, you just do the funeral while they're alive and say all the good things about them and read
Oh,
a
that'd be nice.
eulogy.
Kind of like
Wouldn't that,
a roast, but nice.
exactly.
Yeah.
But so that's kind of a I guess my brother's doing the eulogy. My stepmother asked him to do that. That's fine. I'm reading some scripture. I don't know what it is. I just have to read it. Um, so, and then we have the reception and everything, and it should be okay. But we're going to be in Colorado for that, the Denver area. I hear Denver's supposed to be looking really shitty now, Sasha, with all the illegals coming in and tearing up the place.
Well, shit,
So
it's starting to look ugly here too.
I know it's getting
I
really
went
bad.
to I went to see Labyrinth with Brando earlier, and we went to
Yeah.
Walmart after the movie. And he said he got behind like a real cash. He got in line of a real cashier, not the automated.
Yeah.
And he said it took longer than me checking myself out because I had all this stuff that I was buying.
Yeah.
He had like 3 things, and because the person couldn't speak English and the cashier could not understand them, and they had to get an interpreter. And I'm like, wow, like, welcome to America. Like,
Yeah.
nobody has to even speak the language anymore. You can't even talk to people anymore. It's just sad.
Yeah. And what really pissed me off, and night owls, we're not super political, but sometimes we talk politics. And this did piss me off where Joe Biden apologized to that illegal alien he's the guy that bashed that little girl's head in.
Yeah,
And
that's
they
horrible.
apologized. Oh, I'm sorry I called you an illegal alien. Fuck him. That guy should be executed. It's really sad how that is, but it's everywhere. So we'll see Denver. Denver got it. Denver's really kind of heartbreaking for me because that's the area I grew up in as a kid. I grew up in Arvada, Lakewood, if you guys are familiar with the area. But that's suburbs of Denver. But when I was a kid, it was such a nice city, nice area, Republican, clean. You had some Hispanics, mostly white though. I would say 90% white. I think 5 Points is where the blacks were in Denver, and that's where all the crime was back in the day. What do you know? And but now it's really, even before all these illegals poured in, it became a sewer because all the California shit libs came there and voted their policies in, and it's just crazy now. So,
well, I think it's like that everywhere, though. You go back.
Yeah.
When I go to Rockford, it doesn't look like it did when I was a kid. It's kind of depressing, and the crime is really bad. Like, anytime I see anything about it, it's like, ooh, the crime, and there's a serial killer, and just all this horrible shit. It's like a lot of crime for a place that's not even that big.
Yeah, Denver is a lot of homeless now, I guess, and they're aggressive.
There's a lot of homeless in Fayetteville now.
Yeah.
Not as bad as like Seattle or Portland, but you see a lot of people on corners of stores now, like begging for stuff.
Yeah, it's not a good country anymore. It's really sad how they've destroyed the country, and hopefully we can reestablish the republic one day or get a new one. But it's we're kind of in a tough situation there, that's for sure. So I kind of got off track because then going back to Denver. But then Sasha and I decided, or I proposed to Sasha, we should just drive out to Las Vegas. We both like Las Vegas. I took Sasha there a year or so ago, and she really liked it. Initially, she didn't care for it, but then she did. And so we decided we'll just go there and get married. So we're not going to have like a big service or anything. It's kind of the way we wanted it. So it's going to be a low-key affair. So we're going to be doing that. And I don't think it's going to be Elvis, but it'll be.
No, we don't have to do Elvis.
So that's what we're going to do. And thank you all for your support. And I know Sasha set up some wedding registries on Amazon and Walmart, and we've already got quite a bit of stuff. And
Yeah,
Sasha,
we
you
got a
said you
lot.
had
It's been really nice. Yeah, I have a list of everybody. I won't say their full names, but just to thank you. You want me to do it now?
Yeah, just the first name or whatever.
Okay. Okay. Thanks to everybody. And some people gave multiple gifts too, but this is like a list of everybody that I hope I didn't miss anybody, because you can't look up. I think it's on Walmart. You can't look up the people. You can on Amazon now.
Yeah.
Okay. So Mr. Bojack, Brendan, Dave, David, Aaron, K-Max, Private Pirate, Courtney, Patrick, James, Lee, John, Slam Hyde, Kieran, Nick, and Amrex bought something, but there was like a mix-up. But I think he said he's going to send something to your place.
Okay.
So we just wanted to thank everybody.
Yeah, typically stuff goes to the Wolf Slayer now, because they can dump it off at my porch, and like literally no one's going to steal anything here because we don't have any diversity out here. But where Sasha lives, her apartment there, is a little enriched area. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, there's a lot of confusion here because of where I live. There's a couple different numbers, and they're like all around, and so people misdeliver stuff. Like where I'm at got delivered somewhere else, and the person took a picture, and then they throw shit in front of the door. And like one day I found a package when I was like walking to my car to go to work, and I was like, because it looked so thin, but it had something in it, but I guess it had blown from one of the other apartments like over to near where mine's at, because it was real windy outside. So the mail people don't even bother to like knock on the door. But I don't even think it's mail people so much now. It's like these people that deliver for like Walmart or Amazon, because they pay people, to deliver on weekends and stuff. And I think that's what happened. Like they just don't know. So
yeah, and our house here in the mountains is very isolated, so it doesn't. I did it. One package was misdelivered to one of the neighbors here, and it was a younger guy, and he came over and gave it to me. That's about a year ago. Because sometimes it's hard to find my place. It's very hard to find my place, even with GPS. So, but if they find it, it's pretty secure. And I think this is going to be a problem in general. Like, Amazon was thinking about these robots to deliver stuff for drones, but in certain areas with a certain demographic, they'll just rob it. They're not good people. So they're not, you can only do that with a civilized, high trust society. You can't have savages running around and have that type of technology, because they'll just rob it. So that's just reality. It's kind of sad, but that's the truth. And that's where we are.
People
go ahead.
I was just going to say they should bring it if you get somebody else's mail. That's what I did when I saw that guy's package. I brought it back over to like 3. I don't know if it blew away again, but.
Well, I've done that. Even when I lived in Oklahoma, I got packages sent to me, and I didn't even look at it. I just opened them. Oh, what did I get here? And I saw like towels or something. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, what's this for? And then I saw it wasn't even addressed to me. It was addressed to another house. So I took it over to their house. I think most people that are honest, that's what they do. But again, that's a high trust society we don't have anymore. In parts of America we do, but it's becoming less frequent, which is very sad. So kind of long story, if anything is sent to, we try to keep where we live a little bit private for obvious reasons.
Right.
There's a lot of weirdos out, but somehow Amrex sent it to where Sasha lives personally, and that's the problem. And basically, so if you get something, if you get something on the registry, you don't see my address, but it sends it to my address, and it's a little bit safer.
The PO box too.
Well, we have the PO box in Fayetteville too, and that's a great one.
That's where most of the packages are going, is the PO box. But
right.
Yeah, anybody that knows me, I should have told people this a long time ago. Please don't send packages here, because on Christmas everybody sent their package here too. Like all my friends, and it's like, you guys got to send them to the PO box. If you send me something, like, don't send it to this apartment. I just happened to get lucky and they didn't get stolen. And my neighbor sometimes will pick them up if he sees them, until he sees me if I'm at work or something. Sometimes our mailman doesn't even come till like 6 o'clock at night. I'm not even kidding. So before I go to work, there's no mail half
Well,
the
and
time.
as always, there's where you live, there's people that are good and they're not going to steal them, but it doesn't,
There
all
are,
it
like my
takes is,
neighbor, he
right,
holds
all
them.
it takes is a few, the usual
And there's a lot of
suspects.
people around here
Yeah,
too.
that's the problem. So,
Yeah. And not the greatest people. Like you can hear like cops
yeah, there's a
hollering.
certain demographic that's always yelling in the middle of the night and carrying on, and they don't know how to use it. They don't really give a shit about disturbing other people. You know, they're always yelling and carrying on in their voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I guess you guys can read between the lines, figure that out. The Amish. No, we're not talking about the Amish, but so it's and so it's not like East St. Louis ghetto, but it's
No.
still
It's
once it
got
gets
its
to once you get a
yeah,
certain percentage, you get some trouble. And I think I would guess your area's around 20%, maybe. I don't know
probably.
of these types that act in such a way.
Yeah, I'd
And
be
once you
glad
get
to get out of here.
yeah, because that was always various issues of how they act and everything. So
I've always lived in the same shitty general area of Fayetteville, like for how many years now? I moved here in
I know.
'99, so what, 25 years I've lived in the same area. And
Well,
it's
if
like
it
my friend always said he hopes I get out of this area
yeah.
because it just gets shittier and shittier. Like it seems like the longer I'm around.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, Fayetteville, what I heard has changed quite a bit. And even since I've been here for 4 years, well, I'm not in Fayetteville now, but I've been in this area for 4 years. I've noticed this really got more crowded and just people moving in this
it
area.
is. Well, I think they said, I want to say somebody told me, or a couple of people told me this, 5,000 new people move into Northwest Arkansas like every month.
Right.
I don't know if that's still the case, but it's getting really freaking crowded here. I don't know. It's kind of like everybody realized that, oh, we can move there and it's kind of affordable compared to other places. But now they're making it where it's not going to be
Yeah,
affordable either.
it's
Because half the
sad.
people don't live in Fayetteville that I work with. Everybody lives outside of Fayetteville. And Fayetteville used to be super cheap. Like you could buy a house. Like I knew people that had jobs, they didn't have college degrees and they could buy a house back in the day. And now it's getting like too expensive because everybody's moving here.
Yeah, Fayetteville is it's a beautiful city. It's less than 100,000 people, maybe over 100,000 now, but it's a college town, and it used to be very affordable. It still is compared to like Denver, San Francisco, still a lot cheaper, but it's really gone up, and rents are going up, and housing prices are going up pretty dramatically here.
My
And
rent's gone up $250 in 2 years, and it hadn't
right,
gone up at all the whole time I lived here. I've been here 13 years, and so it's only gone up that much. But then all the gone up is gone up in 2 years. So the economy got bad, whatever, and all the rents like went up.
beyond the inflation. By the way, that's going to
Mhm.
really screw Biden because he can try to gaslight everyone that inflation's not real, but people see that in their rent, their food prices, their. I see it. I pay more now on my property tax. I pay more now on my insurance. It's so yeah,
It's
it's
like,
all
yeah,
getting.
it sucks.
So you can't really you can't lie about that. And just so you guys know, uh, I guess we're not giving any secrets, but after we get back, you'll still see Sasha in Fayetteville at times, and I will be there at times too because Sasha will be living in Fayetteville for probably almost another year just because of her lease, and she has or we have a property in north of Fayetteville. I almost said it. I don't want to
Yeah,
dox.
don't say it.
I didn't. I almost did. I almost said the small town where Sasha was
No.
father lived in, but we're somewhere in Northwest Arkansas. She's got the house and acres, and so she's been working to clean that house up, and we go up and mow it. So it's kind of the opposite direction where I live. So it's where we will live. So for the next 10 months or so, Sasha will still be in
Well, they
Fayetteville.
made me
So
sign a lease.
yeah, so
It's like
Sasha's
I
got a
didn't
lease
know
too.
they did
Yeah,
it like in the middle of all the snow and everything. I
yeah,
didn't have time because I have all this stuff. Because what I do is I get stuff from my dad's house and I bring it here and I clean it and sell it because I have free water.
right.
That's the one good thing about where I live. I don't have to pay water. So I'm taking advantage since these assholes keep raising the rent.
Hmm.
And I'm also taking advantage of their dumpster. And so like a lot of the junk I don't want dumpster. So it's just easier to kind of clean. It's almost like my office here. This is like my workspace now. I just like clean shit, put shit on eBay, and throw stuff away. That's my new job besides my job.
And so don't freak out if you see us separate, because that's just typical. I mean, Sasha and I talked about this. We love each other, but we have our own things we do, and so that's I don't know. I think it's good that way. Just like, in fact, this is a lead in. Yesterday, I went with Brandon, Sasha's friend, my friend now too, and I saw Dune 2, and Sasha didn't care to go to it, so that's cool. And today, Sasha went to see a movie. You saw Labyrinth, right?
Right.
With Brandon too. So,
Yeah.
and I didn't bother to go to that one. So we
Brandon will
got
go see anything.
yeah, he's a fun guy, and I enjoyed going out with him last night. We saw the show started at 10:15. It was like the Dune movie part two is almost 3 hours. It's a long movie, so we didn't get out to about one. And but it was I getting to the movie, and I won't belabor this because Sasha didn't see this. I saw part one during the pandemic at Sasha's place with Brandon. I don't think you where were you? Were you there, or you didn't watch it? Did you?
I was here, but I think I was just like doing diamond art or something.
Yeah,
I'm not
it
paying
just didn't.
attention
I don't
to
think
it.
interest you, but we watched it then. So I wanted to see part two, kind of. But I thought part two was a lot better than part one. Uh, I it was a really good movie. I'd rate. I have a 5-star system. I give it 4 stars. The only, and I always, in modern movies, you have to talk about SJWism of political correctness, and for the most part, it wasn't too bad. Uh, and I'll explain the areas that were problematic, as the left would say, but there was no like homosexuality, transgenderism, or anything weird like that, or pronouns. So that didn't that Paul actually liked a girl, and I don't think she has a penis. Uh, but the show, the special effects are just amazing, just beautiful. So see it in a big screen if you can. I think it was just gorgeous, and there was a lot of combat scenes, but they did something well that I wish more movies would do. They did combat, but they didn't do it too long where it gets boring. Because I get really bored. I've told Sasha this when they have like a combat scene and just goes on and on and on and on, and like, okay, we get it, we get it. I mean, just wrap this up. It didn't do that. It kept it pretty quick, and I thought the pacing of the movie, even though it was a long movie, it didn't feel like 3 hours. It just went really well, and it was a good pacing. Um, the movie basically followed the novel. The director made a few changes, but hey, I think a director has that right. Directors do that. God knows Stanley Kubrick did that with The Shining. He changed a lot. So this guy changed a little bit, but I thought it was for the best. The only thing I would say was a little bit of wokeism in it that you can't get away from it is the the Fremen, if you're familiar with this, and I don't really mind because I kind of saw them when I read the book anyway, trying to be like Arabs, or they're kind of like Houthis. So they were kind of swarthy looking. So I didn't really mind that too much. And Paul's love interest with Chani, which she was half Fremen and half uh, from the biologist in the book. And so it kind of made sense because the person that played it, I looked her up. Her name is Zendaya or something like that. I never heard of her, but she's a mulatto, Sasha. We're talking about it. So
Hmm.
she's like, on one side, her mother's like Scottish English, and her dad was black. So she's a mulatto. I think she's butt ugly. I think
What's
she's
her
not
name?
very attractive.
I'll find her.
Zendaya, Zendaya, and it's a prettier picture of her that they show. But if you look at it in the movie, she looks very kind of the flat nose, and it's not the European features she has. I didn't find her very attractive at all, even though she's young. And Paul Atreides, the main character, I thought he looked kind of ethnic, and he's Jewish, the actor, so that made a surprise, surprise. But that's uh, so. Anyway, the Fremen are the good guys, and they weren't all like people of color, but there were some blacks, and there were most of them were pretty swarthy. But the
Yeah, she's not that
Harkonians,
attractive.
yeah, the
Probably not.
Harkonians, they were all uh, all white without exception, And so it's just a little subtle thing they do now where if you're the bad guys are always people of color, and the good guy the bad no the good guys are people of color, the bad guys are white, and without exception. And they did that. Plus, they did a little bit of the feminism, where Chani was kind of teaching Paul everything, or don't mansplain me, basically what she said. She didn't say that word, but um, but I other than that, if you could get past that, and it wasn't too much in your face, it wasn't like they talked about Trump or white supremacy or anything,
That's good.
but it was clear they were trying to show like the Harkonians were like Nazis. It was clear that's what they're trying to show them as, blonde, blue-eyed, and the Fremen were like the indigenous, the people being colonized and the poor brown people. But if you get beyond that, I thought it was a really good movie, so I would recommend it. And that was kind of my take on that. So I saw some people didn't like it, but I did like it. So the political correctness or the SJWism, while it was there to a degree, it was done light. It was a light touch compared to what you usually see now. So I could recommend that movie. And part of it I could get over, because the Fremen, I always picture them as kind of like Arab types anyway. They live in the desert, so I'm okay with that a little bit. I wanted to do a shout out to Kim, my friend in Finland, Sasha. He gave us $50.
Wow.
Paula, Sasha, I wish you the very best in life. This is my wedding gift for you. God bless you. Thank you. And he's always been a great guy. If we ever go to Finland, we'll have to see him. He's got a really nice daughter too. He always sends me pictures of her. It's a really.
I'd like to go to Finland.
Yeah, it's a nice place. So thank you for that. And I want to also thank. And there's a lot I'm probably missing. I apologize, but thank you, Michael D. He always sends postcards from Spain.
And he always sends me those Scream magazines, which I love, and I've been reading those all lately. And I can make buttons out of a lot of the photos. So.
And then I also got a book from called Shadows of the Coming Ruins that one of my followers wrote, Surge. And he suggested maybe this would be a good book club book for the Gum Road. And thank you, Surge. I will read this, and maybe we will make this a book club book. I haven't started it yet. I just got it, but thank you for that. And it looks interesting now. So they got a lot of talented people. This one's from Toledo. There's a Toledo, Spain. He said, no, not the Ohio. Huh. I've been to Toledo, Ohio. It's not that glamorous. But yeah, so that is that. And why don't you give your take on the movie you saw that we could still do while we're on YouTube? What did you think of Labyrinth? Or Sasha, wake up. Sasha, we can't hear you. Sasha.
Hello.
Hello, you there?
Yes.
We can't hear you. Okay. You there, Sasha?
Yes, I'm here. I don't know what's wrong.
Oh, okay. So you sound you.
Can you hear me now?
Now we can. You just
okay. There's a short in my speaker.
Yeah, I got one on my camera, so I can relate. So
I moved my hand and I knocked it out of my head.
Yeah,
my ear, and then it like messed it up.
We gotta, maybe as we get going on, we'll invest some money and get some better equipment, because it is kind of a ghetto operation sometimes we do here. Where you have a short in your speaker and I have one in my camera. Like if I hit the cord, it sounds like the same thing. It just
I know.
takes it
I need
out.
to just go buy a new speaker.
And I guys just get a new camera.
So I don't want to get rid of it, but it's shorted out. But it sounds good. I mean, when it works.
I thought, because I went to see the Dune, and so why don't you talk a little bit about Labyrinth and what do you like about it, and a little bit about it.
Yeah, I bet most people probably have seen it, but if you haven't seen it, it's like a Jim Henson movie from 1986 starring David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly. And he's the Goblin King, and what?
I was saying it's very similar to Wizard of Oz.
It is. I mean, they even said before the movie today, they should, they do their little trivia, and they said a lot of people said it reminded them of either Alice in Wonderland or Wizard of Oz, and Jim Henson kind of took that as a compliment because he liked those things and he liked fantasy, and I mean, a lot of those movies are kind of similar anyway, or the fairy tales.
When I saw it for the first time, I saw it with you a couple of years ago. I'm like, oh, he stole it from the Wizard of Oz.
But I mean, it's not exactly like the Wizard of Oz, though. But I mean, it's like girl and she kind of makes friends on the way to go to get her baby brother back and has to go through the labyrinth. But there's like parts of it that could be in other fairy tales too, like Snow White, like she eats the peach and passes out and then she's like dancing with David Bowie. The music's really good too. I love the music.
Yeah, David Bowie was an interesting performer.
I love David Bowie. I hated to hear that he died. I always hoped I'd get to see him in concert, but I didn't really tour much.
And he had a good knife, a Bowie knife. I always liked the Bowie knife.
Shut up. That's such a dad joke.
So you've heard of the Bowie knife, though, have you?
I have.
Yes, Jim Bowie. Yeah, that was from the Alamo. Yeah. That was good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I didn't care to see that while I was here anyway. So I'm glad you saw that with Brandon.
Yeah, Paul doesn't like fantasy kind of kids movies. It's weird. I want to see if Brandon will go see Neverending Story with me too, because I figured you probably won't like that either. The South Park movie's going to be out this summer, and I really want to go, but he doesn't know if he wants to go to that because it's a sing-along. So basically, they have the words at the bottom of the screen with the bouncing ball. That's what I think they do anyway. And so we all sing all the songs from South Park.
Because Sasha knows these songs. Like, why don't you sing that one that you're talking about?
You want me to get, it's what, Uncle Fucker?
Yeah.
That has a lot of cursing in it.
That's okay. I don't get monetized on these anyway, so what the hell?
Yeah. Oh, what about Uncle Fucker? You wanted me to sing Uncle Fucker? Yeah. No, I'll sing it when we go see it.
Oh, you're not going to do it here online?
No.
You do it to me in person. You're a pretty good singer.
Yeah, but I don't want to do it like this.
We got a fairly big audience tonight. 843 watching.
Oh, we do not.
We do.
Do we really? No way.
You can see in our stream elements. Just look at the live thing.
341. It says.
No, total, but you don't. I'm just talking Rumble.
No, 114 is what I'm seeing.
No, I'm
Where are you seeing 8 something? Mine says 114.
No. Well, that's just probably YouTube, but I can see both here.
Now it's 115.
You me show you?
Yeah, because
I'll show you my stream live so you guys can see it. So it's going to be Meta showing stream elements. Here we go. Nope, that's not it. Where is it?
There's no way you have 800 people.
That's what it says.
This chat is moving way too slow for that.
I know.
There's only like 200 plus both.
I wonder why it shows this. Let me see if I can. I guess I can't show my
116, and then it says 123 on Rumble. So it's what, 200?
I don't know. It's got it messed up then. I don't know how that worked. I can't show it for some reason.
That's all right.
Yeah, you can just believe me, but I will. So.
But anyway, if you haven't seen the South Park movie, you should go see it. Because I know we started to watch it and you fell asleep, but it's really funny, and I think you would like it. And it's not like politically correct at all.
Yeah.
Like you like South Park, you would love the movie. It's a musical, but it's funny.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. I don't know. I think it's good, but I think that's why he didn't want to go. He loves the South Park movie too, but he didn't want to have to sing. But I think that's optional. Like, you don't have to sing.
Well, I figure they want to kick you out. Yeah.
Right. They're not going to put a gun to your head and force you to sing. So
fakes.
It'd be like going to Rocky Horror or something. You know, you just sit there and you can either participate or not.
Oh, here it is. I'll show you. I did it.
I see that.
864. I don't know why.
I don't believe that.
Why? I'm just telling you what it says. I'm not saying I believe it. I'm just saying that's what it was. I just didn't make it up.
No,
all right.
I didn't say I didn't believe you. I just don't believe them. There's a glitch or something's up.
That could be a glitch, then I guess so. All right. Let me just see here if we got any other hour chats or. Rants. Oh, we got a rant here, so I'm going to go over the rant. $5 from surcharge. The parts of the films or books that are stolen are usually excusable as archetypes, common characters and themes across folk tales, myths, and so forth. The elements of the tale resonate with us. Yeah, I'm not saying that as a negative, because how many plot devices have you seen that are basically Romeo and Juliet, where you have two lovers, but they're two different like families or something that hate each other or organizations. That's so common, you know.
Well, I
So
mean, in
you
the night. Oh, sorry.
go ahead.
I was to say, like in the '90s and the early 2000s, there was all that like all those like girl movies that like the girl and the guy would get together. What were those called? Chick flicks.
Yeah,
Like that was a big thing, and they were all kind of the same.
yeah.
It's
I
just
mean,
like they're fun. Some of them did
yeah,
it better than others, but then but I mean, they were all kind of the basic same story. Like, oh, a girl and a boy fall in love, they get in a fight, they break up, and then like they have to win each other back at the end. You
right.
know, that was like a lot of those movies back in like the late '90s, early 2000s, and they weren't
Hmm.
bad, but it's kind of the same thing. After a while, you start to run out of ideas. Everything seems to get used over and over again. And they said they did an episode of South Park about that. Actually, The Simpsons did it.
Yeah,
Because anytime Butters would have an idea, they'd all be like, Simpsons did it. And then Chef was like, well, actually, somebody copied, they stole that from like an old Star Trek episode, you know what I mean? And everything
yeah.
basically got stolen from something else. But kind of like there was this in the '80s, there was always an episode of every sitcom where they had a garage sale. Like
Yeah.
everyone I can think of, they always would have some kind of like garage sale episode, or you know what I mean? They all kind of like stole a lot of the same plot lines with just different characters.
Oh, I figured out that the viewer is saying on, because went to Twitter and there's 769 on X watching, it says.
Oh, so it's from X then.
Yes.
Oh, see, I don't have X open.
Yeah, X. Let me.
That's
If
cool because you
I
have so many followers on X. I would think you would get more
Yeah,
people
let me
watching
show you
on X.
this just so you guys. I didn't know usually I got that many, but I guess a lot of people on X, or see right here, the 776.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
so that's it. That's where we're getting the viewers. So interesting.
That's cool.
Um, yeah, and by the way, guys, and just I'm more and more, and I think I'm going to do more and more this year. Sasha, I've even talked about this on Night Owl. She said, we should just do more on Rumble and X because of the censorship stuff. And I agree. I'm starting to do more and more, just like my Happy Homelands. I do maybe 10 minutes lead in to let people be notified on YouTube that I'm streaming, but then I go straight to Rumble.
I think it makes the
This is,
show better when you can speak free. I was listening to
yeah,
Jim Rhodes Hardballs before we started our
yeah,
show, and he says whatever the hell he wants. You know,
yeah.
he doesn't care because he does not on YouTube. And I think it makes it funnier when you can say things you really think and things you want to say, but you have to police yourself all the time. It gets like I do that. Sometimes I'm like, well, can I say that? And I don't even know anymore like what you can say.
Well, and I felt bad because once on this, and maybe I didn't even have to delete or take it down. But remember, we're doing a Night Owls, and I don't blame you. But you said the R word for someone that has a mental
Right.
disability, and I don't know if you can say that. Or, I don't even know because I see some people say stuff like that, or even the F word for a homosexual, and that's fine. But other times you could get a strike. I don't know. So it gets tiresome. It really does. Speaking of which, you want to just go over to X and Rumble now,
Sure.
exclusive, and we can go over some of the horror movies things because I know
Yes, let's
Sasha's
do
big.
that.
All right, so I'm going to remove YouTube. So